It's now up to Sam Bankman-Fried to clear his name. He knows that. He's going to have to do whatever he can and come out and explain what happened. I want an explanation. Every investor does.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have Shark Tank investor and Canadian businessman Kevin O'Leary giving us the latest update on the collapse of FTX and the damage it's caused to Bitcoin and the crypto market. O'Leary says he doesn't think that the market has seen the bottom of the FTX fallout yet, marking a stark reversal from 2.5 years ago when FTX's management team approached him to become an investor in their exchange. O'Leary finds it hard to believe that Bankman-Fried didn't realize the risks he was taking, as reports say he transferred billions in FTX client funds to his Alameda research trading arm, and says the SBF will have a fair amount of explaining to do when all the facts emerge. Let's check out this latest interview with Kevin O'Leary as he talks about what went wrong with FTX and what effect this will have on Bitcoin and the crypto market. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
Just to be transparent and open about it, I was an investor in FTX International and an investor in FTX US, and I was a paid spokesperson. And so those are all facts, and I'm living with them every day. This was not one of my good investments. This was a bad investment for a whole host of reasons. Luckily, I'm fortunate that this particular investment, both the ones in FTX, the accounts that I had in FTX with millions of dollars in them, and the ownership of FTX US, was not in a fund that had other LPs. I owned it 100%. We hadn't made the decision to diversify yet. We were waiting to see if FTX would go public and how regulation was going to come forward before we put other people's money at risk. This was all my money, so I'm thankful for that. Of course, I hate losing money, but it's not going to change the way I operate or what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. I'm going to continue to be an investor. This is not about crypto. This is about bad policy, bad regulation or lack thereof, if you want to put it that way, and some very weak compliance management. That's what's happened to these companies. It doesn't change the potential of what crypto is going to be, but certainly it was a hit. There's no question about it. And, you know, it's embarrassing for me, obviously. So much due diligence had already occurred. I mean, if you look at the cap table of who was investors in this company, it's the who's who of financial services. And so I'm one of them. We're all embarrassed. We feel foolish. And this is a tragic story, not just from a financial collapse, but it's a human story. It's an unbelievable story. It's probably going to be told, you know, for years to come. And the chapters haven't even been written yet. We're not even in the first chapter yet. Everything's allegation and insinuendo. We don't know anything yet. And so I'm trying to keep an open mind about it. I'm not happy. I don't like losing that much money, but it doesn't change anything that I'm going to do tomorrow morning.
As reports swirled that the SEC and other global regulators were closing in on FTX, it was just a matter of time before Sam Bankman-Fried's fraudulent activity would be exposed. O'Leary believes the internal problems and the significant amount of inexperience are what led to such a massive collapse. With consumers being hurt financially and most having their digital assets wiped out by FTX's bankruptcy, it's now having a significant impact on the confidence and credibility in the industry.
You've obviously seen it. It's gone viral. The clip where you said that you would still perhaps back Sam Bankman-Fried in another, you know, should he resurface?
That question was taken completely out of context. I understand how it was edited. That's fine. But let me explain what that was about, just to clear the air. I made a comment for years now in the context of entrepreneurs, and particularly broadcasted by Shark Tank for 14 years, that I am not scared of investing in entrepreneurs that have had catastrophic failure, because I find, both for men and women, that the sting of failure really motivates people to figure out what they did wrong and not do it again. That's experience. That's what it is. Now, when that interview was taking place, it was at the beginning of the whole shakeout and the rumor mill of what was going on between Binance and FTX. And so, you know, I didn't know the situation. Now, obviously, Sam is currently not investable while he's under alleged investigation. And so, no, I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't be allowed to. But the point was, we were talking about whether or not I would invest in entrepreneurs that have failed. And the answer still is yes. But obviously, the conditions have changed. Remember, this story
Okay.
changes every hour.
It's not just a question of failure. Obviously, people, failed businesses have come back and done better and greater things, but he took billions and used it for personal use. So it's a question of ethics and not
But
just
I
a
didn't.
failed business.
Nobody knew at that time that had
Right.
occurred, and
Right.
it's still being investigated. So look, I've said to people, look, I'm sorry. Obviously, that was taken out of context, but I just want to make it clear here. I do invest in entrepreneurs that fail. No entrepreneur gets it right every time. So, to me, it doesn't change who I am or what I do or how I support entrepreneurs. But no, I don't investigate in people that are under investigation. I can't, and nor would I. It's now up to Sam Bankman-Fried to clear his name. He knows that. He's going to have to do whatever he can and come out and explain what happened. I want an explanation. Every investor does. Are you kidding?
So the question is, what did you miss with Sam? How did you miss those red flags? And I know it could happen to anyone, but what was the error on your part? How did you miss it?
The truth is, and Danielle, I have to be honest about this too, I don't get it right every time. I don't. I've made thousands of investments. They're not all winners. This one was just, all of us that have talked about this, all of us on that cap table, we've all talked to each other. We're stunned. We're just stunned. But we don't have any answers yet. And so I would actually like to know how this one went down. And there's lots, if you just go online and see the due diligence that was done, it's alleged. Again, I keep saying alleged because the stuff that goes out there on the internet, a lot of this stuff is garbage, but it's alleged that Bain was hired to do the due diligence for Tiger. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than Tiger. And so I'd like to find out more about that. I'd like to find out more about the other members on the cap table. We all look like idiots. And, I'm the first to admit it. There's no question. All of the paid spokespersons, including me and Tom Brady and Seth Curry and Giselle and right down the list, we're all being sued. During that process, we're going to get to the truth. When litigation scrapes to the truth, and that's what's going to happen. Look, I would have rather not been involved in this, but it doesn't change anything I do, and it doesn't change my policy of transparency. And if people want to be crazy online, I've been watching this for years. I mean, it's noise, and I tell my whole team it's noise. I tell my kids it's noise. You have to have thick skin to do what I do. Everybody wants to know what exactly happened, and the only way he can clear his name, and let me be clear about this, is the facts, the truth, the timeline. It all has to come out, and it will. The one unique thing about this situation versus other financial collapses and calamities and disasters, everything that occurred here is on the blockchain. Every single transaction is recorded. Now, you may not know who the wallet is, who owns it, or who stole it, whatever these allegations are, but every single transaction will be able to be found. And so there's no hiding from it. It's going to come clean.
O'Leary admits to missing major red flags, not just with the structure of FTX, but with the unexplained fraud that Bankman-Fried will now have to answer for. O'Leary does mention that the other major investors that have money tied up in FTX will have to account for their role in the company as well. He does put ownership of the mistakes that were made on SBF's shoulders and says that there are many unanswered questions about exactly what went wrong. We'll be keeping an eye on this. What do you think about Kevin O'Leary's latest interview on FTX? And how do you think this collapse will affect the crypto market heading into 2023? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.